Welcome to the fourth and final video designed to prepare you for home field advantage. I'm Dave Little, Director of NYSSBA's Governmental Relations Department, and I'd like to thank you very much for making the effort to be part of this inaugural advocacy event. There's no more effective method of advocacy than face-to-face with your legislators back home in the district. No Albany distractions, just you, your legislator, and your issues, leader to leader. If you haven't already done so, please review the previous 3 videos in the Home Field Advantage series. Your readiness is the key to the success of this important advocacy effort. Use the talking points posted on the NYSSBA website to zero in on the most pressing issues faced by your district as we approach the scheduled end of the legislative session. Don't worry about taking materials to your meeting. We've already sent the list of issues and background materials to your legislators. Just use the Talking Points handout as a guide to keep the meeting on track. Please use local examples of how your district is affected by the issues to convince your legislators that these issues are important to your community. Stay focused on issues that go beyond just your district. State legislators, like school boards, can only be effective when acting collectively as a group. Know the political environment your legislator will be operating in. As this segment's being created, the state budget is yet to be enacted, and the state is fast approaching the deadline for its second try at federal Race to the Top funding. The Assembly is firmly committed to restoring $600 million of the governor's proposed cuts to school aid, while the Senate wants to restore STAR rebate checks to taxpayers. Sadly, budget negotiations in the legislature are among staff only. The Memorial Day holiday and the political conventions of both parties will continue to delay passage of the budget. The confrontational relationship between the legislature and the governor's office further deteriorates as legislative candidates running in November take the headlines. The legislature hopes that the federal government will come to the rescue so that they won't need to seek re-election in an atmosphere of cutting programs and services. Fortunately, the governor was dead wrong when he predicted sweeping school budget defeats. The 92.5% statewide passage rate is evidence that New Yorkers believe that schools have balanced educational needs, taxpayer frustration, and state aid cuts. Keep your legislator focused on your district's need for both the resources and the authority to operate more efficiently and effectively. Tell them they must restore aid, free our schools to plan for the long term, and forego all election year soundbite legislation that increases costs and competes for local resources. State mandates are about more than funding. They squeeze out local choices that determine what your staff should be doing to be most effective in delivering what your community believes is important for the future of its children. This is a vital time for public education. National and international expectations are high. Competition between states is intense, both academically and in the hunt for new economic growth that depends on a well-educated workforce. Your job as a school official has never been more difficult. Pressure to succeed is outpaced only by pressure to deliver better programs at lower cost. It's a challenge to establish new methods to teach in an age when there are fewer children and fewer resources for them. Only through cooperative leadership between local officials and the legislature will we succeed. We need each other. Meaningful change can only occur with the help of the legislature, and they can only target proper change with your insight. You share a constituency, and you share a goal, and it is an election year. Take the number of your student population and multiply it by 3.1. That's the number of voters that your school represents. Let your legislator know that your school will not be shy about complimenting them if they help with the issues on your list of talking points. For public education in New York State, it's the bottom of the ninth. However, you're a great player on a great team. You've been well coached, and you've got the home field advantage. Hit one out for the kids.